Well, Biden's announcement sending political shockwaves across the Commonwealth, raising questions about what the Democratic presidential ticket could look like moving forward. James Crummell, hey James, continues our team's coverage this evening. James.
Good evening, Kendra. Good to see you. A lot of people will be keeping a close eye on Governor Shapiro's response to this moving forward. There are a lot of unknowns right now, but what we do know is that Governor Josh Shapiro is a rising star in the Democratic Party. If Vice President Kamala Harris becomes the presidential nominee, many see Shapiro as a potential pick for VP. As many of you know, Pennsylvania is a critical battleground state. There aren't many paths to the White House that don't run through the Commonwealth. The latest polls showed President Biden trailing former President Trump here. The fear among Democrats is that Biden remaining at the top of the ticket would drag down all their candidates underneath, including Senator Bob Casey, who is running for re-election. Casey has been a strong supporter of Biden remaining in the race. He released a statement saying President Biden has always dedicated himself to improving the lives of Americans. He deserves our gratitude for his historic achievements, including our economy after the pandemic and delivering the largest infrastructure investment in modern history. He has had an exemplary career in public service. He is a patriot who has always put our country first. Casey's Republican challenger Dave McCormick also released a statement saying, in part, Joe Biden is not capable of serving as commander-in-chief. Bob Casey is very close to Biden. He's known this, but in typical Casey fashion, he's been weak in his refusal to admit to Pennsylvanians that Biden is simply not up to the job. Keeping his head down when times get tough, that's who Bob Casey is. Now, another down ballot candidate is Eugene DePasquale, who is running for state attorney general. He was one of the Democrats who wanted Biden to drop out. I talked to him moments ago from Pittsburgh. And you are one of the down ballot candidates that a lot of people were worried about if Joe Biden remained at the top of the ticket. What do you think this means particularly for you and your candidacy?
There's no question that there was a political drag that was going on here because of a lack of enthusiasm, a lack of energy. I think this changes that on a dime. There will be more energy in the party, more energy at the grassroots level. There'll be a renewed emphasis to going out there and knock on doors. So I think it will boost Democrats across the board.
Rumors are swirling if it is her at the top of the ticket, who her VP would be. And a lot of people have Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro on that short list. What do you make of that?
It will be the vice president's decision, assuming she's the nominee, which I would anticipate her being. Assuming she's the nominee, she'll have her pick. But I think Governor Shapiro would be an ideal choice for her. First of all, he's got executive experience. When you run Pennsylvania, that's the real deal. And he'd be ready on day one if he needed to be president. Secondly, there's no question in my mind that if he's on the ticket, Pennsylvania strongly leans in our favor. And third, his record is one of both as the attorney general, as a state legislator, and as a governor of helping bring people together. So I think that's something the country sorely wants right now, is to have someone that tries to get us beyond these partisan divides that's going on. And so I think he'd be the right choice to make. But again, that's up to the vice president to make that decision.
Now, I should note that DePasquale is running for Attorney General against Republican York County District Attorney Dave Sunday. DePasquale goes on to say that he does support Vice President Harris, and he believes despite the turmoil the Democrats have been through in the past several weeks, they will unite around the eventual presidential nominee. Kendra.
Thank you so much, James. Well, lots of Pennsylvania Democrats and Republicans have released statements in reaction to President Joe Biden's decision to drop out. Democratic Rep. Malcolm Kenyatta says, I love Joe Biden. I've been fortunate to know the man, not just the politician. In a profession often marked by ego, excess, and exponency, he has never let these erode his true gift, a pure decency and unflappable kindness. While many are celebrating today, keep in mind that many are also grieving. Joe Biden is unparalleled in terms of what he has accomplished as president for the American people in just 3.5 years. He defeated Donald Trump, unleashed an economic boom, and passed historic legislation that will benefit our country for decades to come. Kenyatta went on to say, even as he ends his campaign, I know there is much more he will do. I am grateful for him today and every day. America's better because of him. PA Democratic Rep. Dwight Evans said, I am deeply grateful for President Joe Biden's service to our country. having led landmark legislation like the Violence Against Women Act as a senator and served as vice president for 8 years. He stepped up again in 2020 to end the disastrous tenure of Donald Trump and clean up the mess and chaos that Trump left behind. President Biden and Vice President Harris have delivered for Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the nation with accomplishments I've been proud to vote for in Congress. And U.S. House Democratic Rep. Brendan Boyle said President Joe Biden is a patriot. He selflessly put personal ambition aside to do what he thinks is best for our country. Today and every day, both in dark passages and bright days, I am always proud to be one of Joe Biden's biggest supporters. Janelle Stelson, who is hoping to unseat Congressman Scott Perry in Pennsylvania's 10th district, said President Biden is putting our country first and making the right decision. I am enthusiastic about the prospect of new leadership in Washington. And Republican Congressman Scott Perry released this statement saying, since President Biden took office, America knew that he was enfeebled and incapable of the rigors of the highest office in the land, not to mention the grueling demands on him as the leader of the free world. I lament that the American people were ever subjected to this. The democratic process of selecting a presidential candidate is being willfully discarded by design for the sake of their power and power alone.